Hey y'all, Jamie, that's me here. Listen, it's time for us to talk about the Braxtons, okay? Because the sisters definitely got into it, honey, and it don't look like they're gonna be filming with each other much longer. All right, so let's go ahead and get right on into the episode. Make sure you're coming into the video, you liking up the video, you're doing all the good things that you're supposed to do. Okay. So we pick up with Tamar pretty much arguing with Toni, and Toni tells her, Toni says Ashley made an accusation on the family, right? Or at least she didn't tell this to her, she told it to the confessional. She says that Ashley made accusations about the family, and Toni says that she didn't think that it was like supposed to be an attack on Tamar. And when she said that, I was kind of like, why would this girl making accusations be an attack on Tamar? And then I said, oh, she talking about the cease and desist. That's what she was saying. Because Ashley made these accusations about the family, a cease and desist was sent out, right? And because this cease and desist was sent out, she didn't think that it was really an attack on Tamar, but more so, let's shut down this conversation. It's going on longer. Let's not bring any more shame to the family name or whatever the case is, right? And I'm not gonna say that Toni did this because I don't know. I wonder if it was the brother because of course Ashley did receive a cease and desist. So I'm wondering if she received that directly from the family attorney on behalf of her dad or whatnot. And they also sent one to Tamar. Not necessarily sure, but one was definitely sent out. But at some point during this argument, and I'm probably gonna mention this again, Tamar and Toni get into it, and Tamar says something about not Tamar, but Toni mentions her publicist and how she spent oh so much money, on a publicist or whatever to clean up some of the mess for Tamar. So I'm like, if you would spend money on the publicist to clear up any situation that Tamar has going on, which to me seems like you didn't know if whatever she has going on is going to be blowback onto your career. Could you have possibly been behind the cease and desist going out to Tamar in an effort to shut down any blowback they may blow back onto you or any of your family? You know what I'm saying? If you would spend oh so much of money for a publicist, would you potentially spend all of that on the family attorney on behalf of other family members and stuff and to make sure it don't blow back on you? I don't know if Toni did that or not, but watching the show just makes you kind of question those things like, could it be? It makes me think a little bit about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. For those people that check it out, it's a really good show. And there's been information out about one of the ladies. And it's like, did Lisa put this information out? Because this sounds like her MO, but at the same time, what is Heather over here doing? Because, one person got you looking this way while the hand is over here moving on that, you know what I'm saying, in that direction. So I don't know. It's just interesting. It, brings up a lot of questions, right? But getting back to Toni and Tamar having their, back and forth, Toni says that Ashley made these accusations. The cease and desist came out. She didn't think it was an attack on Tamar at all. And she doesn't think that anybody in the family really wants to hurt the other. Like, she doesn't think that's what's going on. But she doesn't want to, be blamed for anything like that, right? She's like, I didn't do it, is what she's saying. So I don't want to be blamed for something that I did not do. Everybody's saying they didn't damn do it. Now I'm kind of with Tamar just a little piece because it's also like, well, somebody fucking did it. Okay. Somebody did it. And if y'all didn't do it, then I feel like you know who the hell did. Okay. Now, granted, you probably could call the family attorney. I don't know if she did to find out who the hell told you to send this shit to me. And maybe the family attorney would have told you, well, because I'm the family attorney, I can tell you exactly who did it. You're such and such wanted me to shut you the hell down. They told me to give it to you. Because I do feel like it can all be so simple. Maybe if you talk to the family attorney potentially, I don't know. And maybe they could give you all this information because they're representing the entire Braxton family. As it appears, Toni uses her publicist to about do the same damn thing. All right. But leave your thoughts on that down below. So Tamar asked, who gave this man my address? Okay. And Trina, like, girl, now it's called an attorney. Basically, they can find out whatever it is that they want. And Tamar said, girl, lies, bitch. Okay. Lies, because the address that's out there that I live in, girl, it's not even in my name intentionally. Okay. So you would literally have to know my address, come to my house, all of that in order to know exactly where I damn live. So again, I asked, who the hell gave this man my address, right? And she says, you know what? I'm really not even concerned about me. It's really about my child. All right. Now, Tamar, girl, you did kind of switch it up, love. And maybe it is about all of these things, right? But one minute it's about, oh, y'all did this to me. Oh, y'all are jealous. Oh, y'all tried to ruin my business. Oh, now it's about my son. Maybe it could be about all of those things, but the line was moving just a little bit. Okay. So then she talks about, she's concerned about her son because y'all just giving people my address and I don't even know these folks like that. Right. She said somebody literally walked up to my door and Trina's like, oh, somebody walked up to your door. Tamar, like, here she go. Here she go. Here she go with her bullshit. Y'all see this? Here she go. Here she go, acting like she give a damn. Here she go. So Trina says, well, girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, honey, it wasn't me. Okay, at least that's what she said in the confessional. It wasn't me. My name wasn't on that document. I ain't got shit to do with it. Okay. And I'm not in it. All right. That's what she says. She's finally denying it after sitting there on mute doing the Beyonce challenge for a good bit of time. Now, can I also say in the confessional, I was like, Trina, you look good, girl. I like this natural hair. You really don't need no wig, okay? But I understand we need a little piece on every now and again, okay? But she looked good with the natural hair. She looked like she slimmed down to me. Or maybe it was the black. Black does look good on the ladies, okay? Makes us look a little piece of slim. I have to go give you a little piece of black too. But aside from that, right, maybe she's taking her husband's situation more serious, and she's also dieting too or whatnot, but she looked really good. So Tawanda says that she says, do I know where you live? And Tamar like, no. Okay, you don't even come that way. Well, she didn't say that she doesn't know where she lives. She just said, of course you don't come. And Tawanda's like, exactly, so why would I even be able to get somebody your address? And I'm like, she didn't say that you didn't know the address. She just said you don't come. Right? And Tamar's like, well, BIT, I know where you live because I'm the one that put the down payment on that house. So how about that? Let's get into those things. I put that down payment on you. And Tawanda was kind of like, ooh, well, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that gift. Not Tamar, but Tawanda wanted to make sure on record she said gift. Okay? She wanted to make sure for the record, let the record reflect that this was a gift. And Tamar's like, nah, BIT, I want my money back. I want my money. And Tawanda says, girl, it was a gift. Tamar says, Tawanda, what you told me, or at least what she says in the confessional, is that Tawanda's lender said that she needed to see the money in her account. And she asked Tamar to lend her the money. And Tamar said she was a little skeptical. She wasn't too sure about it, but she went ahead and did it for her sister, right? Now, when Tamar says that Tawanda told her, because at one point they were sitting at the table and Tamar was like, you told me you needed this money and you said that you would give me the money next week, or no, the next day or something like that. And I'm like, Tamar, now see, this is where I call a little piece of cap love, okay? Because if your sister needed 35 racks, you and her and America both know she was not going to have them 35 racks ready for you the next day. Unless she was going to go take out another loan, which is something she likely cannot do when she's about to go and buy a new home. Like, girl, what? Girl, what? When she's trying to qualify for another home. So I'm like, okay, that part right there didn't make sense. Now, I do believe that there could have been an understanding where Tawanda was supposed to give Tamar back some money. If not all of it, maybe some of it. Right? But I don't know, because also maybe that conversation, maybe it wasn't clarified. Maybe, and one, I feel like it's easy for Tawanda to say that it's a gift because guess what? There is no contract. This was a verbal conversation they likely had. Nobody recorded anything. Miss Tamar just moved the money over there to Tawanda's account, considered it as a quote unquote gift. At least that's what Tawanda did, right? Maybe they had conversations about her paying her back. Maybe Tawanda said, I'll pay you back, and she never did. I don't know. It could also be a situation where Tamar never said she wanted the money back, but wasn't gonna say anything about it until you pissed me the fuck off. Then now I want you to give me my damn money back. So I ain't no telling, girl, with the siblings and child that they cut up. So it is what it is, right? Now Tawanda talks about how she got receipts. And I'm like, yeah, you may have receipts of the transaction, but do you have receipts of Tamar actually saying that it was indeed a gift? Do you have that? So don't say you got receipts if you don't have the receipts that show an actual gift. Now, if I was sitting in Judge Mathis's courtroom, if you ask me, I feel like Judge Mathis will let Tawanda keep that money. I feel like Judge Mathis will be like, she don't owe you nothing. If Tamar could not show and prove that this was indeed a loan and not an actual gift, I feel like Tawanda would be able to ride off into the sunset. Right? And also, I do kind of believe that if they weren't beefing and they didn't have an issue, I don't think Tamar would have asked her for the money back until she got pissed off. I'm mad at you, ho. Not give me my money back, bitch. Okay? Ain't that how I go? But anywho, so Tawanda says that's something that they do as sisters. They help each other out. Right? She says, but in hindsight, if she would have known this was going to go down, she would have never took that damn money. Okay, I'm like, girl, it's always hindsight. Now, Tawanda's trying to blast Tamar to make it seem like Tamar is no better than her, and I found it to be so hilarious. Tawanda asked Toni if Tamar paid her for staying in her condo, and Tamar's like, yes, 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 he did. So when she said yes, he did, I'm thinking that it's probably her and Vince is who she said yes, he did, and Toni says no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Now, we could have dived into that a little more deeper, but instead, Tamar changes the conversation to talk about her phone lines. Okay, she's like, let's get into the phone and how you've been using my credit cards, because I went in there to get me a new line or whatever the case was, and then I found out that I'm a part of Tawanda's family plan that got like 6 different damn lines on it, and it's using my damn credit card. And this whole time, I've been paying for people's phones, and I ain't even had no too much of shit about it. Now what? Now that's crazy. And I'm like, 6 lines. Well, who all is on that? I know you got Tawanda 2 kids. I don't know if they're on it, but I'm just counting people. If it was kids, it would be a total of 3 kids, 2 adults. One would be Tamar, one would be Tawanda. So does Sean have a plan under there too? And he the 6th person, or is the other one a business line or something? I don't know, girl, but that's crazy. I would feel away. I would feel away too if one of my siblings was using my credit card to pay for their phone bill. That would be a problem for me. And that may be something that I've allowed you to do before, but when you add in additional lines, like, talk to me. And even if I tell you yes every single time, it's just have a conversation with me and let me know how you trying to move on my card and my money. Hello, don't do no shit like that to me. You don't want me doing that to you. Don't do that to me. Don't play me like that and think I ain't gonna find out about it. Because then I'm really not gonna want to give you shit. Understand? Now, after today or tonight, this situation, let me tell you, Tawanda could get $3 out of me, let alone another 35,000. I understand, but you don't even much like me like that for real. You may like the benefits of what it is I can do for you, and you like to use the tactics of, oh, we're sisters. You and Toni, we're sisters. We do that for each other. No, we don't. Okay. Y'all always want to identify as sisters when it's time for us to do shit for each other. But when it comes down to how y'all may try and make me be the villain on this show and shit, and the things that y'all may say or do or get a certain reaction out of me and act like I'm just reacting for no damn reason, y'all don't think about sisterhood then. So why the fuck you think about it now? When it comes down to the money, you couldn't get $3 out of me, bitch. I'm just not. I'm just gonna be real frank with you. Now your children could probably get whatever they want. Understand? Okay. Cause auntie loves her babies. But at the same time, oh, y'all couldn't get shit. They look that my niece and nephews would have to ask on behalf of their parents. Auntie, can I get $300? What you need it for? I got this project in school I gotta put together and I gotta do this and that. Okay, you can get it. And you better not get none to your fucking mama. Let me find out. They probably could get 300. That's crazy that you would give it to a child. Before giving it to a damn parent is insane. However, don't cross me no more. Now, Tawanda says, because she says, anywho, so yeah, they're going off about the credit or whatever, the credit card, whatever. And Tawanda was like, okay, so just because she's saying that that's what I did, does it make it true? Tony's like, no, 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 it doesn't make it true. And then in the same sentence, Toni turn around and says, oh, but I thought that's what we did for sisters. I thought we looked out. Da, 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 da. And it's like, well, Toni, is it true or not true? I believe that Toni believes exactly what it is that Tamar's saying, because it sounds like she about did that to Toni too, right? Like, I believe that she believes that Tawanda opened up other accounts or whatever it was on that phone line and utilized Tamar's card to pay for it. Even though she's saying, oh, that's oh, it doesn't make it true if that's what she's saying. But then in the same sentence, you turn around and say that that's what sisters. I thought that's what we do for each other. I thought family helped each other out. BITCH, no. Family tell each other what the fuck going on. That's what they do. Tell me what the hell you trying to do with my shit. Understand, because you're not putting in on this clearly. Be clear. All right. But I do find it funny, when it comes down to like Tawanda not wanting to deal with Tamar, because I'm like, dang, you don't want to deal with Tamar, right? And you feel like you believe, or at least not you believe, but you said that Tamar would have messed everything up when it came to your bachelorette party or whatever, right? You don't want to deal with her. She'll mess everything up, but you down to take her money though for a down payment. She'll mess up everything, and she's always getting on your damn nerves, and you really can't stand your sister for real. You're over it, in the words of Miss Candy Burris. But then you'll sit up here and you'll take her money for a down payment for your house. And for you to say, oh, in hindsight, if I would have known this, I would have never taken it. Actually, you've already known that. Tamar is your sister that you've been with since her birth. You know how she get down, you know how she show up, right? You should have never took it then, even if she was just offering it to you. I know I would be like that. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I don't know her situation. Maybe she was just like really in need of getting this house because she was tired of renting or whatever. She wanted to have her own property. Get it a little bit, but at the same time, I'm gonna get it how I live, because I never want a motherfucker to think that I need them. You're gonna need me before I need you. Okay, so if it take me a little longer, oops. Okay, because one thing you not gonna do is throw motherfucking thing up in my face about what you did for me. All right. If you already know their MO and how they operate, so you can't stand her. I don't want to have nothing to do with her. She messes up everything, but she didn't mess up taking that 35 racks out her account and putting it into yours, though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Okay. Let's keep going. So Tamar says that she knows where all the not Tamar. I believe this is what Tawanda said. She know where all the bodies were buried, right? And she says she's never exposed that information. And I'm like, well, listen, all of y'all, in my opinion, have bones buried on each other. And y'all all have not exposed more than what you can expose. And I'm kind of glad you didn't, because a lot of that ain't our damn business. Please keep it over there with y'all. Please keep it there with y'all. You ain't got to tell us all of it. Keep them bones buried, because the sisterhood is already cracked. Y'all don't need it to be no more cracked than what it already is. All right. And if y'all really want to go on with y'all lives and never talk to each other again and barely attend funerals or whatever the case is, girl, y'all will let all them bones out. And I just don't think that is worth it in my personal. So continue to keep them in. That's just my thoughts on that. Now, Tawanda asked Tamar what she stole and then says that Tamar stole men. Now, listen, y'all, I'm going to be quite honest with y'all. As I continue with this review, I don't know, my mind might change, but I'm still wanting to believe that it did not happen. That is not something that Tamar did. I feel like Tawanda was capping. Okay. Those are my thoughts, but we're going to keep going. So Tamar says, don't play with me. Okay. You fucked him. Don't play with me like that. Right. Tamar tells her, you was wrong for smashing that. No. I'm telling Tamar. When her sister says this about her smashing Toni's man, Tamar gets so upset. She gets outraged or whatever. She takes a glass and she smashes it. Like, she kind of, I don't think she broke the glass, but she kind of like mushes the glass to where the water splashed on the table. And I don't know, maybe some of it got on her sisters, but I'm just like, you was wrong for that. To me, I don't think that it warranted her to go over there and splash them with that, especially if she lying. Let her lie. Like, you lying on me. And honestly, when you overreact like that a bit, to me, it does kind of give, is you guilty? Is you guilty? Is you guilty? Did you do it? Did you do it? Because why are you splashing her with some damn water if you know what she's saying is a lie? Let's keep going. Now, Toni tells everybody to shut the hell up. Okay. And Tawanda says that, I'm not gonna argue with people that's sick. I'm not gonna argue with sick people. I said, oh, not you're not gonna argue with sick people, but you're gonna take their money. You're gonna take their money though. And potentially, possibly, allegedly use her credit card to pay your phone bill. But let's talk about what you confirmed, which is the 35 racks, right? You don't want to argue with sick people, but you will take sick people money. That's insane. So Tamar says, she calls her a bitch. She says, bitch, I'll fuck you up. I said, whoa. Well, it's getting really disrespectful. So Tamar says, you're not going to sit up here and make me feel bad about being diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And to be honest with you, the reason I got it is because of you bitches. Be clear about that. Tamar says that she has a mental health counselor that she has on and off camera. I said, I guess they weren't there on that night, clearly. She says that she doesn't know, what her mental state has to do with a cease and desist, though. I said, that is true. That is true. That is true. You know that I'm upset about this cease and desist. Like, let's not get off topic and talk about my mental health. The only reason that I'm turning up on y'all is because I feel like y'all tried to shut me down. Y'all coming at me like I am the person that's been out here saying these accusations. No, I'm just trying to support her because obviously she didn't have the damn support. So y'all send me a damn cease and desist. So since it's a family attorney and don't nobody want to tell me who the hell did it, I'm gonna blame all you niggas. Yeah, because guess what? It's for the family, right? So I'm blaming every single one of you raggedy, right? So what they got to do with my mental health? Let's stay on topic with the cease and desist then. Let's go back to that. Right? So Toni says, Tamar girl, I think she mentioned something about her mental health and says that she's unkind. She's acting like a mean girl. Your family has supported you and stuff. And Tamar's like, girl, stop lying. Like y'all are jealous. You're jealous. Jealousy. You're jealous. And Toni looks in the camera and says, mental illness is real. I said, Toni, listen, for me, you and Tawanda speaking on her mental health in that moment for me did not make y'all look in a better light than what you already look by using her mental health as like a dig in that moment. Y'all let me know because some of y'all may feel differently, but I just was like, huh? Like that's not a good look. So Toni basically feels like Tamar is projecting her issues onto them. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, y'all sent her a seat. Somebody from the family or somebody on behalf of the family's attorney that represents the family sent the cease and desist. That is what she's pissed off about. So Tamar says that she came there to be open and honest and have a sister conversation, right? And Toni says, well, you messed that up when you brought out that cease and desist. Well, BIT, you will be a fool to like. First of all, why are we even coming together to begin with to sort out what issues we got? What are the issues? Obviously, the issue is because I ain't trying to film with you motherfuckers. And why am I not really trying to film with you? Just is because y'all sent me a damn cease and desist. Be clear about it. That's why we here. Reasons. We are here because of this. So what do you mean? I'm trying to have a sisterly conversation. Well, you messed that up when you brought out the cease and desist. We can have a sisterly conversation with y'all telling me who the hell did it. But if they saying that they didn't, some part of me is like, you're gonna have to let it go. But also recognize that it came from the family. So to me, I feel like that's a representation of all of y'all. So kind of be mad at all of them. But then where are we going with this? Do you not want to talk to them anymore? If you know they likely gonna deny it and say they didn't do it, or do you like want to fix this? Like which one is it? Because we could work on a fixed situation. Even though none of y'all saying y'all did it because it came from the family attorney, I just want y'all to know I'm gonna blame all of y'all. However, although I was upset, I'm willing to work on it and move forward from the situation. It could have went like that. So Tamar says that Tawanda said she didn't want to film with them, right? She's like, Tawanda said that I didn't want to film with y'all, and y'all kind of already know, right? So I think she was trying to explain the reasons why it was because of that. Toni then, turns up on Tamar because she's pretty much annoyed with her at this point. She says that she's been spending money because Tamar, I think she mentioned something about money, and Toni was like, I've been spending money. I've been spending money with my publicist to defend your shit that you're out here doing on social media. Right. And I said, well, girl, you've been wasting your money because let me tell you, the publicist ain't talking about that. Because clearly Tamar still be making the blogs, still be doing what she do or whatever. Like it's still happening. So why are we continuing to pay the publicist on behalf of Tamar? Hmm. So then Toni gets in, no, Tamar says, girl, I don't need your publicist. I got my own everything. What the hell I need your publicist for? And Toni goes in the confessional and confirms that Tamar never used her publicist. But her publicist did play, in my opinion, cleanup. She says my publicist has gone forward to, work on things on behalf of Tamar. That means that your publicist went forward to play cleanup for Tamar because it sounds like you were afraid of getting some type of blowback. You thought that it was going to fall back on you. That's something that you chose to do. That's not something she asked you about or asked you for. That's what you wanted. So why are you throwing it up in her face that you're choosing to spend all this money on a publicist? And that line was interesting because it goes back to the beginning of who sent this man to my door. So who paying for the family attorney? Somebody got to be paying for him. If Toni Braxton showing up and having to foot the bill for a lot of stuff, who's paying for him? If Tamar saying that she hasn't used the family attorney in years, So somebody got him on retainer, and it's giving you're our family attorney. You're going to be on retainer, and anything that these individuals come to you for, take care of it. Okay. So then Toni says Tamar likes to be infamous than famous. Okay, that's crazy. All right. So she's like, I be trying to clean up your stuff because for some reason you rather be more infamous than you are famous. Get that together. All right. Okay, child. Now Tamar says that she told Toni that she's getting Ashley. She's like, I'm gonna get Ashley here, right? And so she was like, well, we should have her on the show. I guess this is what Tamar is saying that Toni should have said that she should do. They should have her on the show. And Toni's like, I said that. I said that. I told you that this show is a chitlin circuit and it's a show that she shouldn't be on. And Tamar says, you said that. Right? You said that. Now, Toni's sitting up here denying that she said it, but I always believed exactly what Tamar said, that Toni did say that about getting her on the show. Right? Because she knew it was going to bring a lot of attention. I do believe she said that. I mean, look at how they got Tracy's son on the show last year. I wouldn't be surprised if they was talking, if that's what they wanted, was to get Ashley on the show this year to have the tough conversations with the family. Yeah, for viewership. So then, Toni, after denying it so much, she does go into confessional and she does confirm that she did tell Tamar that she should have Ashley on the Braxton show. And I said, but why you sat up there and denied it when she said that you told me that I should have her on the Braxtons? That's what you said. Right? But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, unless I misunderstood that, that's what I got from it. Right? So anywho, Tamar, she done called Tawanda a hoe again, child. Done called this lady a bitch, done called her a hoe. All right. Did say you the one that fucked that lady, man. Be very clear about that. And Tamar said, so what else? You think I fucked Birdman too? That's what I heard. I know everything was being bleeped, but that's what I heard. Cause that's when Toni Braxton turned up. She turned all the way up behind Birdman. She's like, bitch, don't you go there, girl. Do not go there. Don't play with me. She stands up on Tamar. That's when Tamar stands back up on her. Tamar was ready for all the smoke. And I don't think Tamar was wrong for really standing up on her sister. Don't stand up over me. Like you threatening me. Like, girl, we could do this. Like, let me stand up on you too. Dang. I mean, it shouldn't really come to all of this with sisters, but it be like that sometimes. Shit. The people be fine. That's what they say. So, anywho, this is when Trina puts her hands on Tamar, not realizing that she did because she was trying to get in between the two sisters to prevent whatever was going to go down. And that's when Tamar could have pushed her or whatever it was, but she definitely at some point yanked on their head and also kicked her. Right? And part of me is like, well, Tamar, you should have did that. But at the same time, this is what happens when you have people that are upset and you try, and you're not security. And even sometimes security get dealt with when you try to intervene between two people that are arguing and people that are upset. Okay. When you try to get in the middle of what they got going on, these are sometimes the consequences that comes with that. I mean, hell, even Toni Braxton pushed Trina ass. Like, get the off of me. All right, so that's what happens. So Tawanda says everybody is tired and exhausted with this certain behavior, right? She talks about pressing charges. She goes to Toni about pressing charges. Let's call the cops. Let's press charges. Girl, what? Toni looked at her and said, girl, I'm not doing that. I said, exactly. And I don't really believe Tawanda would have called and pressed charges on Tamar if she would have did that to her. Trina didn't even want to press the charges, and you're over there talking about pressing charges when really it personally looks like to me, Tawanda, that you were using Toni's issue with Tamar as a reason to get back at Tamar. Like, let's press charges. Like, why? Especially if you feel like this person is sick. Especially if you've ever spoke out, about, the police and all of that stuff. Like, girl, come on now. Come on now. Now, I do think that Tamar could have apologized to Trina and said, my bad, I apologize. It was a heat of the moment. I was upset. You interfered. You did put your hands on me. Even though she didn't think that she did, she did. And when you do that, right, people react because emotions are so heightened. So she could have apologized to her, but call the cops. Y'all let me know. Would y'all have pressed charges on that? Let me know. And then she was saying it to Toni and not to Trina, who actually got kicked and got her hair snatched. So y'all let me know. All right. But Tamar and Trina, at some point they do argue, right? About her putting her hands on her, like, you put your hands on me or whatever, and yada, yada, yada. And Trina's like, well, I feel bad for you. And Tamar said, bitch, I feel bad for you. All right. And you know what? If I was you, I'd be mad at me too. Like, look at me. Look at me. Bitch, I'm 48. I said, oh, wow. I didn't know Tamar was 48. Tamar is pushing 50. Like mama or not, she looks good. She looks good. Gotta give her everything. She looks great. Right? Let's keep going. So Trina, she was just standing over there kind of looking confused. I think that Trina really didn't believe that she put her hands on Tamar, because she was just trying to stop whatever was happening in that moment. But it is what it is. So Tamar starts going off about her sisters being jealous and trying to ruin her business and stuff. And she says Tawana smashed on that guy, and she swears that she did that. She says, I swear on your kids. And now Tawanda ready to get up. And I'm like, now see why you had to bring the kids in it. I swear on your kids. Why? A mess. This was a hot family ass mess. And I said, baby, they can't stand Tamar, and vice versa. Can't. It's just not there. So eventually, Tawanda and Trina do have a talk, and Tawanda just feels like Tamar is so unpredictable. And Trina believes that Tamar, snatched and kicked her because she was over there hyping up Toni, basically saying, you're a legend, you're superior, you're all of these things, you're too good for this. So what it sounds like is that Trina thinks that Tamar hit her because she was hyping up Toni. And I'm like, I don't think that's the case. We all know who the hell Toni is. Tamar has said those exact things about Toni. It had nothing to do with that. I feel like you're trying to insinuate that she's jealous of her sister. But I don't think that was the case. But I think that she was just irritated with you. And because you are so tied to this Ashley situation based on the things Ashley said, I believe Tamar did that to you because she really deep down inside really believes that it was you that sent that cease and desist, because you were closer to the situation than she was. So that's why I think she about did that. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's that, right? Anywho, Tawanda no longer wants Tamar to come to her wedding. She don't want her at the shower. None of that. And it clearly seems like Tamar don't really give a damn. Don't seem like she cares to be there at all anyway. Like, BIT, you don't fuck with me for real. Last time I talked to you was last season, if that, and it was only because we were filming. Let's not act like we close like that. I don't have to be at your shit. Okay? Especially if you think that I'm gonna fuck up everything. If you think that I'm gonna mess everything up so bad, you're right. I shouldn't be there. You shouldn't expect me to be there, period. Cool. Now, Toni talks about Angie's passing, which was a lot for her. She did say that they shared, of course, I'm sure, a friendship history, but also they shared like a technician, some background singers and stuff. So she's just thinking about everybody involved in the situation, Angie's family and stuff. So, it's a lot. It's a lot. So they talk about that. I also have to highlight the fact that Miss Toni Braxton looks amazing too. Girl, the way she was up there, stomach out and everything, getting ready for this performance, getting ready to do her damn thing. I said, oh, mama, what are you eating? Grass? Okay. Looks absolutely great. I said, go ahead, honey. Now, Toni does give Tawanda a call when all the ladies are linking up so they can talk about, I guess, the bridal shower and stuff. And Toni Braxton's not coming. Of course, Tawanda gets upset, but I feel like this should be expected. Every time y'all about to have a major thing, Toni don't show up. She's just not there. I honestly was surprised to see that Toni was at the wedding, to be honest with you. So, yeah, Toni called. She already had her fit and stuff. She couldn't make it. Don't know what the reasons for why she could not make it. But yeah, it made Trina emotional. Tawanda kind of got emotional, but she tried to hold back, and she was just disappointed. I kind of felt a little bad for Tawanda in that moment. Because she does kind of talk about Tracy at some point and how she don't got Tracy, and then to know that her sister is not gonna be there, like that has to be a tough feeling when you're trying to do something, like you're having an event or like even a birthday party, whatever it is, and the people are gonna show up and they don't. Now some people may not show up and it's like, okay, I kind of expected them not to be there, but then damn, you not coming. And then she already don't have her sister Tracy. So I mean, I kind of understood that a bit in that moment more than I did last week when she was like, "Oh, I think Tracy would be happy for me, and Tracy would do all of this today." And I was like, "Girl, you really think that?" You really think Tracy would do that? I don't believe Tracy would have, but maybe that's your sister. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you're right. But yeah, I still like. Well, I was like, well, maybe they would have been in a good space, right? And then not even have her here and all of that. Like, maybe I kind of felt bad for her in that moment. Now, one of the producers, OG, wanted to talk with Tamar, right? And so he gonna tell her, y'all shouldn't be fighting like this. She says then they shouldn't fight. If we shouldn't fight like this, they shouldn't fight. I holler. Because Tamar was the one that did the kicking and the scratching and the snatching of hair. Child, I can't. I'm like, hilarious, girl. The way you just sat up here, hit your sister, but you gonna sit up here talking some they shouldn't fight. So Tamar says that, they got upset with her for supporting Ashley and they stopped talking to her. You know what? I believe that. I believe that they hated it. I believe that they would have enjoyed Ashley being the only one to get the backlash, especially if people didn't believe her. But to have somebody like Tamar supporting her, I think they felt like it added validation to whatever it was that Ashley was saying, and they felt a way about it. Instead of encouraging Trina to step the hell up and go have a one-on-one and a talk with her, and then maybe they come online and say they've sorted out their issues and talked and this and that. So when Ashley has felt shunned by the family, this is a clear example of that. But okay. So she says that, they stopped talking to her, and she talks about y'all try to say I'm the one that like an audience, but the only time we really come together is when it's time to film. So who really loves the audience? Because I don't have to talk to none of y'all. Right? So that's what Tamar is saying. She also says, Tawanda brought up something from 1995. So when she talks about Tawanda bringing up something from 1995, it made me wonder, what are you talking about? What was from 1995? Was it the alleging that you slept with one of Tony's men? Or was it about you and potential events or whatever, you and your partner living in Tony's house, not paying her for that condo or whatever? So which one was it? I wasn't sure. She just said Tawanda brought up something from 1995. Like, we're in 2025. Like, what the hell? And I'm like, well, you did bring up giving her 35 racks for that house. So when was that given to her? Was that in 2025? When was that brought up? So anywho, Tamar says that Tawanda hasn't talked to her since they did the last Braxton taping, which, she not surprised, right? She says they are her sisters, but sometimes sisters don't like each other, because he's like, y'all are sisters, y'all shouldn't be doing this. And he's like, yeah, sometimes sisters don't like each other. Clearly. Right? Now, they are officially done with each other. As of right now, it appears. Tamar's like, listen, let them go on, do their thing, have a great time, film with each other, be happy. I'm going to go over here where it's peaceful for me, film and be happy. And this is just where we're going to be at for now. I'm cool with it. All right. Towards the end of the episode, Tawanda and Sean are sitting down, getting ready to, I guess, to talk to the cake person about their cakes. He talks about how he wants to get her vagina on a cake. He wants the guy to make a cake with her vagina. He was going to take a picture of it and send it to the guy. I'm like, I know you may not intend for that to be some type of RP, but that's what it's given. Okay? That's what it's given. And he probably was just joking the entire time. I don't know. Maybe not. But that was definitely a bit cringe, just a little piece. But the guy was like, I don't need to see that of her to make you one of those cakes if that's what you want. And do you think that that's what the guests are gonna want? And he said, oh, that's for everybody? He was like, yes, for everybody. He was like, oh, damn, I thought it was for me. He said, if you got the real thing, why would you want the cake? He said, because I want to have that and eat it too. I said, oh, well, there's that. So it don't look like he got the cake, but he did get some cupcakes, right? And I guess all is well over there in Tawanda and Sean's land. Okay, I do believe they are officially married. And I mean, clearly they had a wedding and stuff. So, well, let me not, because Yandy and Medici's had one too. Hello. Anywho, I do believe that they are a husband and wife at this time. All appears to be well, and that's that. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on the latest episode. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim, putting shots up. I got laser focus